We wanted our rewards program to be a bit special, so that whatever pledge you make, your reward would be linked with a specific aspect of the 2020 Vision project. And so we decided to start by setting our budget first and then working backwards to get to the rewards program. The members of our team have much experience of producing stage plays. And so we decided to pool our knowledge by creating a financial model as the basis for our budget. This is how the model works. There are two levels of inputs, variables and assumptions. This illustration shows you the main variables. They're the items with the blue background: rehearsal days, the length of the run, the number of shows per week, and so on. The idea is that we can try different values for these variables and then measure the effect on our budget. The items with the yellow background are intermediate calculations, by the way. Notice that the variables include the number of pledges in each category. Obviously, we have no idea what these numbers will be at first, so we can only guess. I'll come back to this shortly when we've had a look at the rest of the model. Next, there are the assumptions. These are the items with a lilac background. This list is drawn collectively from our previous experience of what it takes to put on a show. Once we agreed that these assumptions were realistic, they became constant factors in our budgeting. For example, we're fully committed to the principle of fairness. Every member of our company must be properly paid for his or her work. Everyone must be paid equally, reflecting the high level of commitment that we expect from every member of the company. The writer usually receives a commissioning fee for the play in the form of a performing rights license, plus a share of the box office. Our writer, Paddy Gormley, has very generously agreed to waive this income, saying that he is primarily interested in getting the project kick-started, and that he would prefer to wait until the financial viability of the project is proven, rather than taking money out of the budget at this stage. As it happens, our writer is a member of the company anyway, as rewards manager, photographer, graphic and print designer, and so on, so he will receive just the same pay as everyone else, which suits our concept of equality. There are many other assumptions here, as you can see, including a further list of assumptions concerned with the rewards program. For example, we're allocating seats and creating beautiful but also relevant reward documents for you. We need to make sure that we don't end up rewarding our supporters with more seats than we've actually got. The next task is to arrive at a budget based on these assumptions and variables. The next exhibit is a page of intermediate calculations and outputs. The colour scheme is the same as before. The variables in blue are factored together with the assumptions in lilac by way of intermediate calculations, yellow. And the outputs, coloured light orange, are items that appear on the budget. Here, for example, under the heading Theatre Capacity and Rent, you can see how we arrive at our projection of the total box office revenue, by way of a series of intermediate calculations. We calculate the total seating capacity for the run, deduct the tickets given to our Kickstarter supporters, plus the tickets reserved for media people, managers of other theatres, and so on. And this enables us to see the revenue potential of the remaining seats. There's far too much detail for this presentation, so let's move on to the next stage, which is the budget itself. Every item you see here is carried forward from the intermediate calculations page. In other words, if we change any of our variables, the budget will be automatically updated with all the results affected by that variable. Here's a little illustration of this. We're looking here at our target minimum budget, which is for rehearsals, followed by a 1-week run. The people costs here, £12,000, are based on 3 full weeks of rehearsals. If we change to 2.5 weeks of rehearsals, the people costs are reduced by about 10% to £10,800. That change seems reasonable in view of the development work already done by our lovely cast. It enables us to make a significant reduction in our Kickstarter target, so we've decided to stick with it. And this brings us to the best feature of all, which is scenario building. The budget is governed entirely by the variables in blue. Everything else is a fixed assumption. So it makes sense to show the variables and the corresponding results on the same page. Now we can easily see everything we need to know. At the start of the project, we have no way of knowing the take-up rate of any of our rewards. So what we've done here is to imagine the sort of take-up rate that would enable us to reach our minimum target. But what really excites me about this scenario is the figure that appears in the final section headed People Helping People. Here we've added the actual costs of our rewards program to the sale value of theatre tickets given as rewards, and then calculated this as a percentage of the total money pledged. It comes to an astonishing 45%. Nearly half the money you pledge is coming back to you. Your pledges benefit the project too, obviously, insofar as you're directly helping us with scripts, programs, photographs, etc., etc., and providing a lovely, enthusiastic audience, and we hope lovely reviews of the show written by you. And if that wasn't exciting enough, look at the next bit. The people costs in our budget add up to a further 45% of the money pledged. This is what I meant when I said that Kickstarter.com is the perfect place for this project. It's all about people helping people. An astonishing 90% of the money you pledge will end up in the hands of people, whether company members or supporters like you. I can't imagine a more perfect outcome. Thank you, Kickstarters. Thank you.